Ahojte všichni, já vás zdravím u dalšího videa z Genshin Impactu a opět to nebude stream, ale v podobě videa. Dneska já se dívám na to později večer, nevím, kdy jsem to vydal, budu se snažit co nejdříve, opět většina z vás hráčů to viděla. Special program 5.2 na Genshin Impact. Mělo by se jednat, co jsem tak teďka před videem hnedka to počítal, o poslední update pro rok 2024. První update v roce 2025 by měl být někdy v květnu, jasně, debil jsem, v lednu, a mělo by to být asi někdy, nevím, jak jsem to počítal teďka, jak se na to dívám, někdy začát první týden v lednu a tak. Můžete napsat, napište mi, pokud víte, pokud ne, nevadí, ale můžete si to spočítat, podle toho, kdy vychází ten update. 5.2 by mělo být 20. listopadu, takže od toho si odpočítejte těch 40 dní, co je Battle Pass, samozřejmě to se ještě posouvá, takže vždycky update je ve středu, takže někdy začátkem nového roku. Tohle by měl být poslední tedy update. Natáčím tady z důvodu, že je krátkej, ten special program má to 36 minut, opět super, takže tam nebude nic asi extra. Už to aspoň nejsou také ty dlouhé, jak bývají ty hodinové, já chápu, že to má význam, že to je třeba výroční special program tam má, nebo úplně nová oblast, jak většinou vychází je, ale že jsou také kratší. Jsou to i nějaké dvě videjka, nevím, jestli obě dvě budou v tým special programu. To první hádám, že nějaký ten teaser nebo trailer, a to druhé něco o těch věc zkrácenej o eventech. Tady events overview. Takže my se podíváme na special program. Samozřejmě jsou i redemption kódy, doporučuji si stáhnout do telefonu aplikaci Hoyo Labs nebo na počítači, na telefonu to nejlepší. Přihlásíte se na Hoyo Labs telefonu, máte tam všechny jejich hry, dáte jenom danou hru, vyzvednout si odměnu za den můžete a hlavně tam dáte tu danou hru, redemption kódy aktivovat, dáte si, jaký máte i účet, automaticky už vám to dá jméno, aktivujete a máte to, nemusíte to kopírovat ve hře, doporučuji Hoyo Labs si stáhnout. Jdeme na to, nebudu to zdržovat, mám české titulky, to bude asi automaticky, že UHD, titulky, spojené dáme, to nejsou česky, ale dáme automatický překlad. Čeština, dobrý. Tak uvidíme. Tady máme ten trailer. Nová oblast má být, to je ona. To je nové postavě, to je Anemo postava. Takže to tam je peklo, to bude, protože urlítá, dá také věci. Časa, nebo jak se říká, nová pětková postava. Má zajímavou ability, ale pro mě je nevýhoda Anemo a ještě má luk. Prostě luk já postavím s lukem a Ororon, nová čtverka. No tak pojďme.
500 years later, mystery surfaced again. I worry that we risk repeating the mistakes of the Cinder City.
Nový boss. On se může projevit na bosse, který už ve hře jsou, jo. To bude docela brutal. No zajímavé to ability, no.
Before the final moment truly arrives, we must fight harder than ever.
Zajímavé. Hnedka tu máme první redemption kód. Redemption kódy jsou do soboty do 12 hodin, takže to už většina z vás by měla asi vědět. Tak, aha, zase tu máme ty, co mají na starost Genshin, ale ten globální, aha, dám asi.
Hey travelers, welcome to the Genshin Impact version 5.2
Western.
special program.
Ona má ta postava taky westernový nádech, revolver a prostě ten klobouk a tak.
Hey, don't be shy. Come out and say hello.
I'm not sure what that meant, but it was adorable.
She
Úplně.
approves of your compliment.
Hey, I didn't know you could speak Saurian.
Oh, I can't. But I can make an educated guess based on her body language.
Whoa, are all Cuckoosaurs as friendly as this one?
Adult cuckoosaurs are usually very proud creatures, but there are always exceptions.
Well, since our Cuckoosaur friend kicked things off for us, I know just the place to start. The Flower Feather Clan.
All right, let's do it. Cuckoosaurs live among the Flower Feather Clan, which is suspended high above the mountains.
To bude ve vzduchu,
This
to bude
is a
peklo.
tribe of warriors, and most of their people can command the power
Ta
of the
Anemo
skies.
vesnice, no.
It was the Flower Feather Clan's ancient duty to patrol and safeguard the entire region of
I Western.
Natlan.
No, já nevím,
As
co to...
elite
No,
special
Western.
forces, their job was to detect threats, disseminate intel, and quickly neutralize any dangers to the nation. Though the circumstances are different now, the tribe never forgot its origins. They still hold trials to assemble the fastest teams in the tribe. The trials test a pilot's skill and teamwork with the Cuckoosaurs.
Jo.
Oh, I'm so pumped about these Cuckoosaurs.
Yeah, Cuckoosaurs are the proudest out of all the Saurians.
To je ta nové stvoření, které bude moct používat, až proměnit.
Cuckoosaurs can consume phlogiston to climb higher or perform a
Jo,
horizontal
no všechno ve
roll in
vzduchu,
air.
no to je úplně
Holding
peklo
the
bude.
sprint button allows them to enter an accelerated glide state after a horizontal roll. In addition, they can even use phlogiston wind tunnels to quickly cover great distances.
Okay, so I'm assuming that Cuckoosaurs are really hard to tame.
Yeah, that's true. You need to prove yourself in some worthwhile feat, like demonstrating exceptional archery skill during flight. That's the only way to become a
Ale za
true
mě aspoň to bude
Cuckoosaur rider.
stručné.
Wow,
Special
that's
program.
so strict.
Yeah, tell me about it. But okay, now that we've got a glimpse of the Flower Feather Clan, it's time for a quiz.
What? Already?
Yep, I hope you're prepared. Every tribe in that land has a unique way of communicating
No, nějak jak
with their
to
Saurian
přetočíme, to nás nezajímá.
companions. Travelers, if you get into a tough situation, then Chaska, the Flower
Chaska.
Feather Clan's
Časa.
expert
Já jsem
peacemaker,
řekl časa, ne?
help mediate the conflict.
Časka.
Nitch mentioned that her method of mediation
Vypadá dobře,
is
taky westernový nádech,
silencing
ale
both
prostě
parties.
Anemo
Is
look.
that true?
Jestli si zkusím vyšnout, uvidím. Uvidím. Podle toho, koho známí na update 5.3, jsem zvědavý. Protože jestli to bude to, co jsem viděl, nebo se
Oh,
šuška
she
spekuluje,
doesn't
tak to bude
keep
hard.
conflicts between humans and Saurians. She keeps the peace between people too.
Exactly. Chaska was corrupted by abyssal power as a child, so she has a strong compulsion to fight, but she knows how to rein it in.
Right. I heard that she was abandoned as a baby. It seems like she's been through a lot.
Yeah, but luckily for her, the Cuckoosaurs took her in and raised her as one of their own. In addition to hunting and flying, Chaska gained a lot of unique combat experience from her Saurian childhood. When Chaska is in your party, defeating monsters will restore phlogiston to your party. While she's in the Night Soul's blessing state, Chaska can ride and control her gun like a Cuckoosaur. The Soul
Takže může
Flavor
lítat.
doesn't just increase her movement speed and resistance to interruption, it also allows her to get a better angle on her enemies.
Wow, that mid-air perspective is so cool. It seems so liberating.
Yeah, and Chaska's fierce when she's in the zone. In
Pěkný
the
look,
Night
to vypadá
Soul's
jak
blessing
z
state,
Horizonu.
Chaska's normal attacks deal
Aj,
animal
jo.
damage to enemies and
Teďka mi to došlo, taky ten nádech mi to připomněl Horizon. Prostě nemůžu si pomoct. Horizon mi to připomíná, ten nádech toho oblečení a ten styl a tak. A i ten look Horizonu. Ale vyplatí se ta postava, protože všechny ty postavy za to se vyplatí, protože mají své výhody pro tu oblast prostě.
Enter a special aiming mode. This allows her to lock on to a set number of enemies within range and fire up to 6
Jezdila
shadow
tím
shells,
revolver.
which deal animo damage upon impact.
Je
In
to
addition,
revolver, nebo to je jak
every
brokovnice?
hydro, cryo,
A má to
or
podobné
character in your party,
jak
one
ta
of Chaska's
Xylone.
Nut shells will undergo an elemental conversion to deal the corresponding type of elemental
Jako ten
damage.
Atlan má ty postavy,
Whoa, no way.
prostě vždycky, když vyjde nějaká Natlan postava, tak má využití pro ten Atlan, pro tu danou oblast. No, což ty ostatní postavy tak neměly v těch oblastech.
Right? Her elemental burst has a similar function too. Chaska fires a gale-splitting Soul Seeker shell during her burst.
Až těma s těma
which deals
elementama.
animal damage. The attack then splits into 6 Soul Seeker shells, which continue to attack nearby
Vůbec nečtu, co tam
The
píšou, ale
shells
nevadí.
can also undergo elemental conversions.
That's so cool. No wonder she's one of the strongest warriors in her tribe.
Speaking of her tribe, the warriors from the Flower Feather clan are formidable for sure,
Jdeme
but
jiný
we should
příběh.
also shed some light on those who aren't as
Můj
skilled.
příběh, jasně.
Are you talking about the wingless?
Co já
That's
to
what
mám?
the tribe calls people who fail the flight trials, right? They're the challengers who fail to earn the recognition of a Kukusaur.
Exactly. But the name doesn't indicate that those people are weak or deserve to be cast aside. The Flower Feather
Yes.
clan has its own definition of strength. There's a tacit understanding that the wingless are supposed to be protected until they can fly by themselves. But that assumption is challenged in Tribal Chronicles Tlalocan. Someone will dare to ask, what if you didn't need a Kukusaur to fly? If you could change the rules, then maybe there wouldn't be any wingless to begin with. Now, whether that's the right path is for us to discover. Chaska will also be there to help us find the answer.
No, to jsem zvědavý.
So, be sure to check out Chaska's Tribal Chronicle if you're interested in what happens.
Is there anything else that you can tell us?
Remember how I mentioned that Chaska was raised by Kukusaurs?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Her Saurian mother will make an appearance in this quest. Even though she's joined human society, Chaska still goes to visit her Saurian mother on occasion,
Aha.
especially when she needs some help with a tough situation.
Oh, so Cheska still has a soft side, even though she's a fearsome warrior.
Definitely. The Flower Feather clan is also the setting for the Archon Quest Chapter 5 interlude.
Aha, Archon Quest. No v updateu 5.3 Archon Quest nebude, si myslím. Ten bude, nebo protože to vychází z... No, možná jo, protože Lanter event vždycky je má spojitost vždycky samozřejmě na narážka na nový čínský rok, nebo nový čínský lunární rok, tak většinou to bývá v únoru, tak jestli to nebudeš v ten dalším updateu 5.4. Podle toho, koho známí na update 5.3.
The people of Natland really value unity, don't they? No one fights alone.
Podle toho, koho oznámí v updateu 5.3.
Oh, wait. It looks like the
Tak
captain
podle toho
will
se
also
rozhodnu
be there.
na Česku.
Yes, the captain will also offer help to the tribe. You may pick up on some interesting information if you pay close attention to what he has to say. The captain rarely gives away too much information in his regular interactions, but his secrecy here seems a little peculiar. So keep an eye out, but of course, restoring Natland's fighting spirit remains the top priority. After all, the war isn't over yet. The abyssal contamination is still around, and we have a very important battle ahead. Natland needs mental fortitude more than ever before.
The Flower Feather clan is pretty close to the Masters of the Nightwind, where the Ictomosaurs live. That tribe could be another good place to recover from the battle.
Oh yeah, let's check it out.
If you head west from the Stadium of the Sacred Flame and go past the towering walls, you eventually arrive at the settlement of the mysterious Masters of the Nightwind. The tribal settlement offers a unique glowing landscape at night.
Takže to je ta elektro.
Then you might encounter the tribe's
Já mám ten
wily
chaos
council
možná.
elder or one of the many shamans who can communicate with spirits. I even heard
Jo,
that
ne?
the witch doctors who live there can help cleanse your spirit. Plus, the graffiti art.
Já jsem to myslel, že vyjde jako jedna oblast, ale jako jedna velká část oblast, kde budou ty dva ty
Can you figure it out, travelers?
další kmeny, jo.
It's kind of tricky, right? Well, don't worry. The Ictomosaurs can help us out. Ictomosaurs are known for their wisdom. They can use their unique sight to detect things that
To není
can't
nic
be
pro mě,
seen
abych
through
řekl
normal
pravdu tady
lens.
toto.
Whoa, okay.
Right. Ictomosaurs are especially skilled at detecting ley
Takže
lines
jo,
and phlogistic.
tak jedině, že by
They can
příště
absorb
nebo
power
přes
from
příště vyšel
distant objects to enhance
tam ta
their
postava, nevím jak se jmenuje.
also allows them to jump higher, move faster,
Byla ukázána
and
před
obtain
chvilkou.
surprising rewards. Ictomosaurs can also extract information from graffiti art to create special objects.
Oh, I bet that'll come in handy for solving puzzles.
Jo,
Definitely, especially in Tribal Chronicles Mictlan, which will become available in version 5.2. The first two acts feature a lot of intriguing puzzles, so be sure to check
No,
them
a
out,
ten třetí
travelers.
bude, kde
Some
bude
of
ta
them
postava, jak to
will
měli
require
z
the help
Exilona,
of
no.
Iktomisaur,
Jasně.
and others can be solved on your own.
I noticed that Iktomisaurs can perform fast-paced jumps when they have
Vždycky
enough
zajímavé,
logistics.
když to vyšlo, byly ty special programy, tak oni oznámili ten trailer, pak ty postavy, co ty postavy dělají, banery a teď to mají tak
Yes,
jinak.
Auroron can do it too. Like the Iktomisaurs, Auroron has the ability to rise into the air. He also has a keen sense of perception. While charging an aimed shot,
Tak to není
Auroron will
ten kmen, ze kterého patří asi ten, ale to je kmen, ze kterého, jako ti, co to z vás hrajou a mají ten příběh dohraný, což já v tento moment nemám dohraný příběh 5.1, jo.
Before the 5.1 Archon quest, I thought that he looked like a stern, stoic.
Takže by to byl ten kmen, kde patří Ororon a ta Citlány, nebo jak se jmenuje.
He's just a sweet kid.
Yeah, it's kind of unexpected, right? Is he really that sweet though? Just think about all the sneaking around behind his
Kteří z vás
man's
teďka bude
back.
jak jsem debil, ale prostě
True.
The
chápem.
tribespeople of the
Aspoň
masters
vy to
of
víte, já to
Night
nevím, já mám v tom
will
gulaš.
accent
Já bych řekl fakt poslední dobou Genshin moc nehraju.
takes it to the next level.
Yeah, it's
Přihlásím se do něho, ale že bych ho nějak teď hrál. Vždycky jak vyjde nová oblast, tak mě to prostě omrzí hrát, nevím proč. Nevíc se těším na tu sněžnou.
Auroron is a
Nebo
bit
zimní,
different
tak.
from the Natlan characters we've met so far. He doesn't need to depend on the Night Soul's blessing state to gain Night Soul points, and he can maintain the Night Soul's blessing state even while he's off-field.
that does sound different from the other Natlan characters. So how do his abilities work?
Let me start by explaining how Auroron gains Night Soul points.
Jak
This
jsou?
can happen in multiple ways. For example, Auroron can gain Night Soul points when one of his party members triggers a Night Soul burst. He can also gain them when other party members deal Hydro or Electro attacks to enemies after Auroron unleashes his elemental skill.
Oh, then it sounds like he works well with Hydro and Electro characters.
Yep. And in combat, when enemies take damage from electro-charged reactions or other party members deal Night Soul aligned damage, Auroron can consume Night Soul points to enter the Night Soul's blessing state and trigger the Hypersense effect, dealing electro damage.
Oh, I see. So you need to pair him with the right characters if you want him to gain Night Soul points, enter the Night Soul's blessing state, and
Je další
trigger the
postava s
effect.
lukem.
Exactly. Though I should mention
Zvědavý na ty
Auroron
rerany.
doesn't need to be on
Viděl
the
jsem nějaké
field
spekulace,
to
jestli
trigger
to
the
fakt zase opět
Hypersense
potvrdí, tak
Wait, he can trigger even while he's off-field? That sounds really useful.
Totally. His elemental burst provides a convenient way to deal damage and support your party. Auroron performs an ancient reach roll with his burst to summon a supersonic Oculus, which taunts nearby enemies to draw them in. Once they're up close, the Oculus releases a sound wave to deal damage.
That should be great for crowd control.
Yes,
To jo.
with Auroron in your party, dealing with large groups of enemies should be a lot easier. And speaking of making things easier, Auroron can also improve the exploration experience by boosting the gliding speed of your characters.
Awesome.
Auroron really cherishes his friends. With a little teamwork on his side, I'm sure victory will always be within reach.
Cool. So we introduced two of the upcoming regions in this update.
A regiony,
the
aha.
Feather Clan and the Masters of the Nightwind. But there's more. Version 5.2 actually introduces another new region. It's called
Okay.
Ochkanatlan.
Oh, I think we caught a glimpse of this ancient city when we were looking at the Flower Feather clan. It's really beautiful from far away.
jako 3 oblasti,
Clouds look kind
to je
of
dost.
ominous.
Ale to jsem viděl líky té mapy, tak to není moc velké.
Is it
Ono jsem,
dangerous?
Yes.
to nebyly
This is a
dodělané, nebo?
restricted area in that land due to its severe abyssal contamination, and it seems uninhabited. Over the years, many adventurers have come here in search of treasure or to slay the dragon. Unfortunately, none of them have ever returned. The Flower Feather clan often sends riders to patrol the area and to
Zajímavé
prevent
toto.
people from getting too close.
Wait, did you say slay the dragon?
Yeah, I know we introduced some adorable saurians earlier, but this creature is actually really terrifying.
Oh.
It occupies this ancient city and guards it fiercely. If it detects an intruder, then it will attack without hesitation.
Okay, that's pretty concerning.
It's easy to take human-saurian coexistence for granted these days, but it actually took generations of effort to reach this point. This relationship wasn't nearly so harmonious in the ancient past. Travelers will need to explore Ochkanatland to uncover the reason behind this dragon's rampage.
Vedlejší
Of
příběhy.
course, travelers won't have to do this alone. Here, take a look.
Oh, what's that?
This
Další
is a very
vytička.
important companion who will help us explore Ochkanatland. His name is Kokoik. As
Wait.
for his power, well, why don't you take a guess?
Okay, is he our moral support? You know, maybe he could make a cute noise every now and then to cheer us up.
Hey, let's not put our Tapetlosaur friend out of a job. Little one works really hard.
Okay, then I've got nothing.
Remember how I mentioned that Ochkanatland is heavily corroded by the abyss? Well, that's where Kokoik comes in. We can use his power to clear abyssal contamination. Follow the direction indicated by his light to collect secret source scraps.
Takže to je něco, jak v Inazumě byla ta elektro, ty území, anebo třeba ta mlha na tom ostrově v Inazumě.
I know, right? Now travelers can explore Ochkanatland with two companions, Kokoik and Little One. In fact, I've heard there's even a special token around here that can enable Little One to traverse a volcano. A new adventure with Little One awaits in version 5.2.
To je hustý, tolik 3 oblasti, ale po streamu se chci podívat, jestli někde ta mapa, jak to vypadá. Když 3 území, ale to asi nevím, jestli to bude velké nebo ne.
For example, with the help of a Kaholasaur, we can evade source mechanism attacks. With the help of an Ikitomisaur, we can solve certain puzzles.
Ježiši.
With a Kukusaur, we might even be able to chase down the evil dragon. But we'll leave the rest for you to discover, travelers.
Wait,
Tak to.
are those some kind of lava fish? Does this mean we can fish in Netland?
Yes, but I've got some friendly advice, travelers.
O,
You
rybičky.
should be very careful while exploring Ochkanatland. Some of the abyssal monsters here can distort their appearance to mimic powerful enemies.
Aha.
High-level monsters such as the tenebrous Papilla can mimic even stronger enemies.
Huh? It looks like these monsters take the form of plants outside of combat.
Yep, that's true. The Abyss has corroded Natland's ley lines, allowing these monsters to read the memories inside of them and mimic creatures from Tevat.
How do we defeat them?
Travelers will need to use elemental attacks to break the enemy's protective void wards. Doing so allows them to take damage and causes them to enter a brief state of confusion. Night Soul-aligned elemental attacks are especially effective against these wards.
Wow, the Abyss has gotten so advanced. It's scary to think about how much harder these fights will get if these abyssal monsters continue to evolve.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a lot of information to take in at once. But before we take our first break, we still have a couple of short announcements.
To je
Really
zajímavé.
short, I promise.
Mám nečekal, že budou
First
tak
up, limited time exploration rewards will be available in version 5.2. Just
Jo.
like in version 5.1,
Jo, teda
travelers
jdeme.
can earn up to 400 extra primo gems. And the rewards will be
Jo, a pak-
available all the way through version 5.3. It's now time to introduce the event wishes. In the first half of version 5.
Takže se to uskutečnilo. Časka a Line. A hned v první fázi bude Ororon. No. Protože já všechny čtverky mám a aby mi nechyběl, tak možná pár výšů na časku dám, jak říkám. V tento moment ještě jsem ani nevyšoval Hutao, takže nevím, jestli to asi vidíte tohleto video, někteří z vás, co se na to díváte před videjkem vyšování na Hutao, takže tam ještě co budu říkat vyšování asi, jak to co to mám v plánu, ale pokud to dopadne dobře z Hutao, tak a podle toho, koho oznámí v update 5.3, tak bych zkusil časku, protože se to vyplatí ty nátlam postavy. Liného nepotřebuju, toho mám, lakersky jsem dostal, když vyšel a ještě mám na něho i luk, nedávno měl Rerun, ne tež. Neměl s Arlechino, ale to je jedno. A Ororona bych mohl získat. A další postava s lukem, všechny 3 jsou s lukem zas. Nebo ti 2 a i 4. Jestli ty další 2 čtverky budou tež luk, se poseru. Tak je to pravda, tak. Opět líky, pár dní předem byly pravdivé. Rerun po delší době Zhongliho a Nuvileta. Takže Zhongliho mám, kopii by se hodilo samozřejmě, ale nemám nějaké nutkaní. Nuvileta nemám nějaké nutkaní ho vyšovat a zbraň už vůbec ne, takže je to jasné. Prostě zkusím časku, dostanu Orora na co by 4 a šetřím prostě na update 5.3.
Version 5.2 We'll have returning event wishes for Zhongli and New Villette. The weapon banner will feature a new 5-star bow,
No z Horizonu to přijel.
Fortress Crimson plumage, and 2 new Natland-specific 4-star weapons.
No,
Be
bez
sure to
prostě.
check them out if you're interested.
All right, it's time for our first break. Once we come back, we'll dive right into the event portion.
No, na eventy. Jo, tady ta postava, jestli bude. Příště.
Welcome back.
nový
Let's
meč.
get straight into the
Vypadá
event
pěkně.
section. So in the first event, we'll get to learn more about the Masters of the Nightwind.
That's right. In the version 5.2 event, Ikitomi Spirit Seeking Scrolls,
To je ta jejich vesnice pro Citlany a Aurora.
bottom of a mysterious accident that occurred within their tribe.
Travelers will need to complete
Já tu Citlany bych chtěl, ta se mi hodně líbí. Připomíná jinou postavu z jedné série. Oh my god, ne, nevím, jak se tady přesně to vyslovuje Beldandy, nebo jak se jmenuje. To tetování, nebo ty trojuhelníky na obličeji. To je make-up. A mi se Citlany líbí hodně. Teď jak hraju ten příběh 5 jedničce, tak jako...
Ooh, I really like the vibe of this event. It looks like Citlali is performing some kind of ritual.
Vypadá dobře, no.
Also mysterious.
When a situation gets tough, it's Granny to the rescue.
Jak jí říkají babička, že to jak mladá vypadá.
Citlali and Auroran have some really fun dialogue in this event.
Jí prostě chci.
I'm always grabbing the popcorn whenever these two interact. They're practically a two-person show. And speaking of fun, let's get into the event gameplay. First up is
To bude ten hlavní velký event, jak teďka třeba měla na Hida, že? Narozenin. Dostan co-op mod. Okay.
Pay attention to the conditions on the field if you want a higher score. For example, travelers can jump on stone slabs that appear on the field. These slabs will break open and release even more spirits. Storms may also appear during the game. You can track down spirits more effectively if you pay attention to the direction of the storms.
In Evil Banisher, travelers will need to select the right teams to complete the objectives. Completing all of the objectives will award you the Banishing Aura, which allows you to deal AoE damage by spraying paint at enemies.
That paint really matches the Masters of the Nightwind's aesthetic. It's super cool.
Yeah, and so does the Spirit Loom in restoring fragmented records. Citlali will use her powers to reveal special fragments. Travelers will need to piece these fragments together and assemble them
puzzle. No, myslím, něco podobného už tady bylo. Myslím, to je něco nového, ne?
The order and positions of the fragments. Oh, there's something else that we should mention. Travelers can obtain a new 4-star sword by completing this event. The design definitely fits the Masters of the Nightwind. It looks like some kind of ceremonial artifact.
I totally agree. Oh, and this event will allow travelers to learn more about Natland's secrets.
Oh, yeah.
For example, this quest will reveal new clues about a mysterious and
Se líbí, že tam oni mají prostě takovou temnou atmosféru, takovou a i ty barvy, no se mi líbí jako to.
On a related note, the Adventurers Guild has prepared a new trial for its members.
Okay. Tak to je ten menší event. Ještě budou 2, ne?
Including the Traveler. Travelers will need to complete various challenges with designated characters.
Jo, to už bylo.
Leverage their skills to earn rewards.
Něco podobného.
I know you're up to the challenge, travelers.
Mám přijel, že to je čím dál horší. Nebo náročnější. A na nervy.
And who better to test these tactics than the honorary
Třetí.
Be sure to pay close attention to the game since the format has changed this time. Travelers will need to select combat units and stratagems to deploy against
Jo,
the
tak Pokémoni.
Once the lineup is set, the monsters will fight automatically. Available combat units and stratagems are completely random. You know, just to build some unpredictability into the wargame. The chances of encountering elite combat units increases as the wargame progresses. Even more elite monsters will be available for travelers to use. It's a volatile environment, so do your best to win as many rounds as possible. Wargame medals.
Něco podobného, co už bylo, ale zase něco nového.
Let's keep the excitement rolling in this next event. We actually have a demo, so please take a look.
Oh, looks like they're selecting tactics. Double damage? That sounds powerful. Whoa, it's automated. Cool. The elemental reaction effects are completely different.
This brand new heated battle mode is called Automatic Artistry. Powerful support cards have been added for nearly every elemental reaction.
Okay.
Choose cards that align with your strategy.
Takže nějaký events TCG, akorát, že to hraje automaticky, jo.
The effects will change depending on how you play. In addition, the overall gameplay is very laid back. Characters will automatically duel each other, and skill animations are now shorter in length.
Wow, it's like we got a whole new Genius Invocation TCG after coming back from Natland.
No.
Talk about whiplash.
That's right. Even if you've never played Genius Invocation before, I really recommend checking out this new gameplay mode in version
Nebo to je nový,
4.2.
nebo to je nový ten,
Also bring a few updates to regular Genius Invocation
nebo to je
TCG.
součást jako nový mod. Aha.
Well, don't worry about that. Our next event
Okay.
will give travelers the opportunity to enjoy the great outdoors. In Claw Convoy, travelers will need to help
Jo,
many
to je
other
součást,
breakdowns
toto
in
je
the
ten
top
poslední
areas.
mini event, a
Travelers
chápu.
will be able to see the animal's point of view by using a special tool. Once you've
No, to už
managed
to
to
bylo.
deduce their location, you'll be able to track them down. Once the animals are safe and sound, travelers will receive a gift from
No,
the
takže
mysterious
hlavní event je tam to, je ta zbraň,
I feel
samozřejmě.
like Oloron will
A pak
be
tu máme ty
shy
mini,
at this event.
menší eventy.
He's definitely an animal lover.
I can see that.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
sure that you would jump at the chance to meet animals from
A to
other
je součástí
regions.
TCG, to je také zajímavé.
Finally, the Leyline Overflow event will return in
Jo, to
version
bude ke konci
5.2.
updateu.
If you need
Do-
more
double.
or character EXP materials, then keep an eye out.
No a toho mám jak nasraného.
Let's dive into some updates and game
No ty
optimizations.
hrdě ptali, dejte konečně 120
Change
FPS.
to the Imaginarium Theater. Previously, travelers would be returned to the theater lobby after completing a challenge.
Jo,
and
to bylo
have to
travné.
reopen the Fantasia
Jo.
Dome to continue.
Bylo na hovno.
Travelers provided feedback that this setup interrupted
No
their
konečně.
experience. So, this will no longer be the case in version 5.
No, dáš next, anebo se restart.
Finishing a battle, all you need to do is
No.
select next act if you want to
Jo, to
keep
bylo
fighting.
strašné, já jsem to, aby řekl pravdu, včera dělal, tamhle to, co, a když ti to furt vrací, to tě sere.
To configure supports for their friends, a supporting caster record has been added in the new update. You can now check which friends have borrowed your supports by looking
A,
at the
takže vaši
supporting
přátelé může
cast
podívat
list.
se, tak to je dobrý. pokud máte kamarády. Nebo jako, nebo ve hře, i třeba hlavně kamarády.
Has also been optimized. Besides the elemental filtering, the Imaginarium Theater will now feature
Jo, já
recommended
chápu.
role icons,
Konečně vyslýchají více tu komunitu, mám pocit, že prostě, já nechci být hnusný, ale v předešlých updatech prostě tu komunitu mám pocit nevyslýchali. A teďka poslední celý ten rok, co vidím ty special programy, tam furt, že co komunita jim říkala a navrhovala, že teď až teprve ten rok vyslýchají ty lidi. Já neříkám, že v předešlých updatech a minulých letech nevyslýchali, ale mám fakt pocit, že ten let vyslýchají ty hráče víc. Můžete napsat.
That is so helpful. I'll occasionally put together a random team if I've just started experimenting with some characters, but this information
Máme dejte 120 FPS.
form strategic teams.
These markers will display key information on how to counter enemies, but in a much more prominent position.
Takže asi se nedočkám.
Hopefully, this change will make it easier for travelers to form the
To je
best
Honkai
teams.
Starlight
Yes.
na iPhonech nebo na telefonech některých. Může mít 120 FPS, ale PC verze ne, to je úplně dep.
For sure. And we can expect
Jsou tady ty hry jako je Genshin, kde jsou boje, aby to bylo víc plynulejší, tak by to bylo lepší. Chápu, že to by museli aj něco na telefony a tak. No,
You can now
ukáž.
sort 5-star artifacts in your inventory based on when you obtained them, from the most recent to the oldest. Second,
Okay.
the animations for crafting materials, forging weapons, building furniture, and cooking dishes are now
detail.
shorter in length.
That's
Okay.
really nice. The dev team designed a lot
To je
of
taká
unique
blbost. Já
animations
chápu, že to, že to bylo také pomalé, tak je to rychlejší, ale místo toho dejte 120 FPS, to nemůže být tak těžké. Možná se mě řekl, to se tím mluví, ale je. Ale nemyslím si. Bylo by to plynulejší pro většinu z nás. Samozřejmě na to chvalných bych nechal.
Awesome. I've been meaning to use some cool replicas in my Serena teapot, but I'm always short on
Ale hlavně,
wood. So this should be really helpful.
mám pocit, že v den vydání tohoto updateu i na Xbox konečně vychází Genshin, ne?
The updated lock assistance interface will allow you to configure lock settings with a single click. Just hit Use Recommended Settings and you're set. The recommended set lock plans will even update automatically based on popular in-game configurations. Of course, if you have your own ideas in mind, then you can always disable the recommended plans to configure custom.
Tak člověk už si to může více tam pohrát. A pokud si někdo myslí, že Genshin za 2 roky skončí, tak je to blbost, protože když tam dávají také ty věci, tak si to nemyslím. A budu si myslet, že vydáním příští oblasti, příští rok, která vyjde, tak ten další rok už bude končit Genshin, tak si to nemyslím. Ještě ani to anime nevyšlo, které to i spopularizuje tu hru určitě zase.
Travelers can use this feature to mark their favorite artifacts and filter by
V
stars.
poslední dobou furt artefakty něco.
Finally, treasure compasses will now be able to locate even more treasure locations, including Sealies and time trial challenges.
No,
A
a jak?
quick swap feature will also be added for treasure compasses and Oculus resonance stones. Enabling this feature will allow travelers to more easily use these devices across regions.
No,
The
konečně.
feature will automatically switch to the compass or stone that corresponds to your location in the
To
game.
musíš sám překlikávat, ok.
Be sure to check out future announcements for more
To je
details
všecko,
on
jo.
version 5.2 optimizations.
All right, that was a lot of info, so this seems like a good time for our second break. On November 20th, travelers will be able to play Genshin Impact on the Xbox
Budu mít
Series
glider, jak
X
mají
and
PlayStation
S.
hráči, tak
Log
i
into
Xbox.
Genshin Impact on Xbox Series X and S
Jo, to říkám, no.
consoles to receive the Wind Glider Wings of Fate's Course Intertwined. Additionally, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members can play Genshin Impact via cloud gaming.
Okay.
They'll also find extra rewards in their in-game mailbox.
Awesome.
All right, that should be everything.
No,
And Auroran seems like a very late.
no, za mě zajímavý update. Sami napište, co o něho, co na něj říkáte, jak se vám líbí, co se týče postav, koho budete vyšovat, koho ne. Jak říkám, já bych zkusil tu časku, ale uvidíme, jak to prostě koho ještě do té doby oznámí. A prostě jak dopadnu z Hutao v tento moment, kdy to natáčím. No a co se týče těch regionů, je toho spousta, tak je to jako super. Co se týče regionů, takže jsem zvědavý taky. A dokonce mi překvapilo, že jich je tolik, kde to je ty banery, jo tady. A jo, nějaké novinky, optimalizace, ok, nic extra, ale uvidíme. A můžeme se těšit na příští rok, samozřejmě v následujících dnech, jak to vyjde ten update potom, tak samozřejmě budou beta verze na updateu 5.3, budou určitě nějaké líky, oznámí a tak dále, ale jedná se o poslední update tohoto roku. Chtěl bych v blízké době tež i ten Genshin streamovat zde na YouTube, doufám, že se tam dostanu, ale kdo ví, nechci nic slíbit. To je ode mě vše, sami napište teda názor na update 5.2, který bude v Genshinu za 2 týdny, na nové postavy, na nové oblasti a tak dále, na příběh a tak dále. Můžete napsat, to je ode mě vše a já se s vámi loučím v další videí. Čau.